Welcome to Fenway Park as the Red Sox return home, getting ready for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Tigers and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox have lost 8 in a row in all 7 games on the road trip, and tonight they try to turn it around against the Tigers team that is also underachieving.
Well, one thing, Don, they have done is they swung the bat better at home than they have on the road, and this last road trip was a great example of how bad they were offensively. You can see 219 for a team batting average, only 2.4 runs per game. Now, the last 25 games at Fenway Park as a team, 292, scoring over 5 runs a game. So that's an improvement. And they're home against Detroit, and Detroit gives them a little bit of an advantage offensively because their pitching has not been very good this year, which is quite surprising. Justin Verlander, who's going in the ballgame tonight, has not won a game yet this year since coming off the disabled list. So maybe the offense get going here at home.
Yeah, Verlander 0-3 on the season, and his worst outing of the year was last time out. The Red Sox and Tigers, more after this. Experience a new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. The Kia Sorento. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park as the Red Sox open up a 3-game series with the Detroit Tigers. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, tonight, Rick Porcello on the mound for the Red Sox. Certainly disappointing so far in his Red Sox first season after 5 years spent as a member of the Detroit Tigers, and some good numbers for him as a member of the Tigers. And tonight he'll face the Tigers for the first time in his career. It's part of our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. 2009 through 2014 for him in a Tigers uniform with 76 and 63 during that time. Logged up over 1,000 innings. 2015 here at Fenway in 8 starts. He's at 500 individually at 4-4. Of course, the Red Sox coming off a tough trip, Gary Streisky, and some tough travel as well.
Yeah, no doubt, Dio. Obviously, just the 2 cities everybody already knows going 0-7 on this road trip, and the Red Sox logging a whole bunch of miles starting off over a week ago from Boston, nearly 2,000 miles via flight to Anaheim after that series, of course, logging the 1,500 miles from Anaheim to Houston, and it was irregular because after last night's finale, they didn't fly back to Boston from Houston, instead deciding to take off this morning from Houston, arriving to Fenway Park around 1:20, 1:30 this afternoon. Here are the team buses pulling up, electing to stay an extra night in Houston so that way the players can get a full night's sleep, coming straight from the airport to the ballpark to start this 3-game set with the Tigers.
We're just trying to do what we can to provide some benefits to the players, to keep some normal sleep cycles. It's non-traditional, so the day that you get to the ballpark on the arrival day, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit scattered, but we feel the trade-off of getting a better night's sleep the night before is worth it.
Well, John Farrell hoping for big things from Rick Porcello. He's 5-10 on the year, trying to get his 6th win of the year. Red Sox trying to get their first win in their last 9 games. Back with the first pitch right after this. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park as the Red Sox welcome the Detroit Tigers in town for the first of 3. The Tigers, Jerry, a little bit underachieving, much like the Red Sox. They come into this series under Brad Ausmus 47-48. They're a game under 500, but in their division, that puts them 10.5 games out.
Yeah, it's surprising, too, because, usually you look at the Tigers and they have terrific pitching. Well, the pitching is 14th in the league, just above the Red Sox, which is surprising a stat for the Detroit Tigers, and that's why they find themselves 10.5 back in their division. So it's going to be an uphill climb for them as they go through the rest of this season. Verlander on the mound tonight. He was hurt early in the season, and that's one of the reasons why he does not yet have a win this year, which is incredible.
Yeah, he comes in at 0-3 into this first game of the 3-game series. Verlander matched up against the former Detroit Tiger in Rick Porcello, and, of course, for the first time, Porcello facing his old Tigers team. He was 4th in their rotation from time to time, and tonight he will face this Tigers lineup for the first time. I mentioned Verlander, who was on the DL for the first time ever in his career with the right tricep strain, and first time that he has ever professionally, whether it be in the minor league level or the major league level, been on the DL. Red Sox hoping that he does not figure it out tonight. Jerry, of course, you were with the team the last 7 days. It was not pretty on this last road trip.
Yeah, where were you? Yeah. It was not pretty. It was a long, terrible trip out to the West Coast into Houston. And, of course, wake up this morning in Houston and right here at the ballpark tonight for this game against Detroit to open up this series. But a long road trip for a lot of people, the players, the manager, the coach, the staff, the coaches, the staff, everybody involved. And, the Red Sox left there 6.5 games back. You come back, you're 12 games out of first place.
Now, Rick Porcello leading the Red Sox onto the field. And as the Sox take the field, let's check out the Tigers starting lineup brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Ian Kinsler leads it off at second base with Yoenis Cespedes, the former Red Sox outfielder, in left. Another former Red Sox, Victor Martinez, the DH, with J.D. Martinez having a very good year. He's in right field. Nick Castellanos, third baseman, with Alex Avila, the catcher, batting sixth. Mark Krause at first base with Jose Iglesias, speaking of Red Sox, at shortstop. The all-star shortstop Jose Iglesias, and Anthony Gose, the former Toronto Blue Jay, is in center field batting ninth. On the mound for the Red Sox, their starting pitcher brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. 19th start of the year for Porcello, 5-10 with a 5.79 earned run average, 84 strikeouts, 26 walks, and opponents hitting at .292 against Porcello. Last time out was on the West Coast against the Angels. Lasted 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. 2 were earned. He struck out 5 along the way.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 9th in the league with 56 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Brock Holt at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Alejandro De Aza, Mookie Betts, and Shane Victorino. And Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for Porcello.
Now, the umpiring crew tonight is brought to you by Buick. Experience a new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Tim Welke with the plate, the crew chief with Mike Everett at first base. Tim Welke is at second base, and Todd Tickner is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the weather conditions tonight, 71 degrees, breeze in from left, and it's at 7 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy for the rest of the night, and maybe dodging some raindrops at some point tonight. Looked like there was a band of showers that may have missed us. As the Red Sox open up this 3-game series against the Tigers, Ian Kinsler getting ready to stand in to get it started. Red Sox in their alternate red jerseys on this Friday night. And the first pitch of the ball game is swung on and lifted in the air to right, where Victorino settles underneath and takes care of out number 1. Kinsler retired.
Now this offense for the Tigers still very good. They're first in average in the American League, third in runs, and they don't have Cabrera. He's on a disabled list right now, so they are still scoring runs even without Cabrera in the lineup.
So 1 down for Yoenis Cespedes on his first season with the Tigers. 291 coming into tonight's action. Set safely in 22 his last 29 games. Nolan spins him out of the box. Fastball that is up and in.
A 2-seam fastball that time up around the shoulders of Yoenis Cespedes.
That's not where Porcello wants that 2-seam fastball to go. Framed there by Hannigan, but called the ball just outside. Must be strange for Porcello facing his former team for the first time.
That is a very, very strange feeling.
High chopper to short. Bogaerts plays the explosive hop, and the throw in plenty of time.
Yeah, look across the diamond. You're trying to focus on what you're supposed to be doing as a pitcher, but yet all your ex-teammates, or most of them anyway, around in that other dugout. And it's a very, very strange feeling the first time you face your opposing ball club, whether you've been traded or you leave as a free agent, whatever it may be.
And he was 76 and 63 his record with Detroit. 4.30 earned run average. There is Victor Martinez DHing for the Tigers. 266. 6 homers and 35 runs batted in. Victor spending time on the DL as well, hitting at .311 since his return. A left knee inflammation that placed him on the DL as he takes the strike that evens a count of 1-1. Thought about it, but called a strike. Didn't pull the trigger. 1-2.
The slider right there from Porcello. He's thrown a couple of those so far in the ball game tonight. That time for a strike to Victor Martinez.
Working tonight with Ryan Hannigan.
Shakes off the curveball, wants the fastball inside. Did not go inside, up and away, and fouled off.
Well, home runs have been a problem for Porcello, but his last 3 straight starts and 92 consecutive batters faced here at Fenway without giving up a home run. 1-2 pitch. Now bounce in. Hannigan blocks it. 2-2.
Actually, last time out for Porcello against the Angels, that was a pretty good pitch for him, the curveball. Threw quite a few of them early in that ball game as he went 5 innings against the Angels, giving up 3 earned runs.
It was the arsenal for Porcello, who has given up 18 home runs on the year. Fouled back. We'll do it again. 2-2. A loss for Porcello last time out against the Angels, as see J.D. Martinez waiting on deck. Ended up going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs, 2 earned. And it is now 2 straight starts that he has given up no more than 2 earned runs. And the outing before that, a win at home against Miami, snapped a 7-game losing streak and an 8-game winless stretch. Came back for him, but not enough, according to Tim Timmons. Looked like strike 3.
That's that 2-seam fastball that he wanted to bring back to the inside corner, and apparently just missing the inside corner to Victor Martinez.
Protecting the plate is Martinez, fouling it off to the left. 93 that time from Porcello. Good battle here for Victor Martinez. After Porcello got Kinsler to fly to right, Cespedes to ground to short. 9th pitch of the at bat. And a foul tip for strike 3 gets him. First K of the night for Porcello. Red Sox are coming up. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first inning. They'll deal with the Tigers starting pitcher, presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Here is Justin Verlander's 7th start of the year, 0-3, with a 6.62 earned run average after the bicep tightness that had him on the DL to begin the year. Lost last time out, his worst outing of the year, 3 2/3 against a good Orioles lineup, giving up 7 runs in that outing. Mookie Betts leads it off here in the bottom of the first inning.
In his career against the Red Sox, he is 3-4. He started 11 games against Boston with a 3.63 ERA.
So strange to see the numbers for Verlander. So used to him being dominant, and that has certainly changed. Velocity has changed for him as well, although 48% fastball so far this year. To right, Martinez almost in his tracks out there to make the catch. Let's check out the Red Sox starting 9, brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. As Mookie Betts just led it off, he's in center field with Brock Holt at second base, Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, Pablo Sandoval at third base with Hanley Ramirez the DH, Mike Napoli at first base with Alejandro De Aza in left, Shane Victorino in right bats 8th, and Ryan Hannigan rounds out the starting 9. One down for Brock Holt. And the 2 spot in the order, and back at second base. And Jerry, it appears that Pedroia's hamstring still a little bit sore for him.
Yeah, it was, and he was out of the lineup last night down in Houston, and I would expect him to maybe take a few days off because he's certainly not 100%, and that's not an injury you want to have come back on you.
He said it at the time that it happened that hamstrings can be a tough thing, and it's going to take a while, and that's been exactly the case even when he's been back.
Yeah, when he was back in the lineup, of course his timing was off offensively a little bit, but you could also see that he wasn't moving around quite the way that we normally see Pedroia move around. So, out of the lineup again today, and we'll have to see as the days go on if he's getting any better.
A scheduled day off for David Ortiz, who is also not on the Boston starting lineup tonight, as Holt fouls that off on the ground. David is available off the bench, but John Farrell saying before the game it was a scheduled off day tonight. The 0-2 to Holt. On the ground to first, and it's gobbled up by Krause. He'll flip to Verlander for out number 2.
The Tigers defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 3rd in the American League with 49 errors on the season. Nick Castellanos will be at third base. Jose Iglesias at shortstop. Ian Kinsler at second. And Mark Krause, the first baseman, left to right. Jonas Cespedes, Anthony Ghost, and J.D. Martinez. And Alex Aviles doing the catching for Justin Verlander.
2 down here in the bottom of the first inning for Xander Bogaerts. Xander checks in up over 300 at 306, 3 homers and 46 runs batted in. Was 0 for 5 in the finale of the series against the Astros last night. Not going hitless in a game in which he had at least 5 at bats for the first time this season, and has now hit safely in 21 of his last 24 games. Time for tonight's Twisted But True Fact. The Tigers' Justin Verlander has not won here at Fenway since August 13th of 2009. He's gone 4 starts without a win, losing his last 2 Fenway starts. Ended up with no decisions in the previous 2 here in Boston. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Now, Verlander last year finished the year 15-12 with a 4.54 earned run average and 32 starts, and pretty much book him for 200 innings every year. He had 206 last year and has gone as many as 240 in his career back in 2009 with the Tigers. Won 24 games with Detroit in 2011, 24-5, and under the watchful eye of Jeff Jones, a pitching coach for Detroit.
He talked about velocity, Don, and he's been about 90, 91, 92. And, you know, he started games like that before, but he'd finish games at 98 miles an hour. Let's see if he's got that in the tank tonight.
That's, to me, one of the most impressive parts of Verlander, especially in the postseason with Detroit, was that you're exactly right. Towards the end of his outing, he would dial it up to 97 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, where was that?
Yeah,
and he's got it.
You'd watch it early in the ball game, and you go, 92. You know, that's a lot of guys throw 92, but then all of a sudden the sixth inning comes and he's 96, 97.
Bogaerts defensively fouling it off over by the Red Sox dugout, still 1-2. Interesting from Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, average fastball velocity 14 and 15, 93.3, but it's down from 95.4 from 2005 through 2013. Some incredible strikeout numbers during those years. Xander gets a piece, stays alive. Pablo Sandoval batting in the cleanup spot tonight. Waits on deck with 2 down, bases empty. Red Sox returning home to begin a homestand here. First with the Detroit Tigers in for 3. And Xander with a good AB. Fouls off another.
And a change up that time away from Bogaerts, able to foul it off, and is up there to see another pitch. There's the changeup away from Bogaerts, and Bogaerts just reaching out, flipping the bat at it and fouling it off. Bogaerts has had a lot of 2-strike hits to the opposite field.
Not this time. He strikes out. First K of the night for Verlander. A 1-2-3 first. We're scoreless through 1 from the fans. To celebrate baseball's newest National Baseball Hall of Famer and his soon-to-be retired number up there with the others. All fans in attendance receive a limited edition number 45 Fathead decal. Visit RedSox.com to buy your tickets today. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for the induction on Sunday for Pedro Martinez and certainly his speech, which we all look forward to, and certainly to see him once again. And Jerry, I know you've talked about it a lot leading up to it, but it's going to be great on Sunday for Pedro.
Yeah, a special time for Pedro Martinez, a special time for Red Sox fans who had a chance to watch him pitch all those years here at Fenway Park and do such a spectacular job. And you know, the highest honor comes to him as a baseball player to get into Cooperstown and in the Hall of Fame. So it's going to be a terrific weekend and terrific week next week here at Fenway when they retire his number here at Fenway Park also.
Always an event when Pedro pitched, no doubt about it, and he certainly missed those days when he would take the hill. It was always fun.
It was. It was just a lot of fun every time he took the mound.
Well, El Duncan live for Nesson there all weekend, and we'll be getting news and notes from her, as well as looking forward to his return here to Fenway Park and the retirement of his number. J.D. Martinez leading it off here for the Tigers in the second inning. Castellanos and Avila scheduled to bat in the inning, and there's a line drive base hit into center field for J.D. Martinez, putting together a very good year for the Tigers.
Yeah, big power year. 27 home runs and 62 RBIs. This time he gets that two-seam fastball inside, hands inside the baseball, gets the barrel of the bat on the ball, and takes it into center field for the base hit. There you see the American League rankings for J.D. Martinez.
Fifth in RBIs, tied for fifth in runs, third in slugging percentage. Lead runner on here in the second inning for Detroit. I think Castellanos will take a pitch apparently high for ball one. Castellanos will take it inside, 2-0. The league leader in home runs. We're talking about J.D. Martinez. Albert Pujols with 29 on the year. Then Mike Trout with 28, and then J.D. Martinez with 27.
Trout and Pujols were going back and forth while we were in Anaheim.
Big swing there for Castellanos. There are the home run leaders in the American League. Nelson Cruz in Seattle. Of course, a good bounce back year for Mark Teixeira with the Yankees. Castellanos to center field. Mookie Betts moves over and makes the catch out there in center. Back to first goes Martinez with one down in the inning. Well, Nesson is proud to support the National Suit Drive in July. When you make a donation of gently used professional clothing at any Men's Warehouse location, you help unemployed men and women look their best as they re-enter the workforce. Learn more at nationalsuitdrive.com. One out, one on, and it brings up Alex Avila, hitting under 200. 196, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted in. Sidelined twice this year with some knee troubles. Of course, over the years, had trouble with concussions as well.
All the fun of being a catcher, right?
Wow. Since coming back, though, he's hit safely in 11 of his last 18 games. Throw to first, and diving back is Martinez.
And Martinez with only 2 steals on the season. He's been caught one time.
He's being coached at first base by Omar Vizquel, first base coach here for the Tigers.
Pretty good shortstop.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Not bad.
He's getting limbered up. 25th pitch for Porcello gets away. And J.D. Martinez will take second base.
Now Ryan Hannigan tries to backhand this ball. It gets underneath the glove and by the umpire all the way to the backstop, right through the umpire's legs. So J.D. Martinez in a scoring position at second base.
Wild pitch charge to Porcello. Gets Martinez to second with one down and count of 1-1 to Avila. .450 average with runners in scoring position for Avila. Red Sox stacked up on the right side into a shift. And the breaking ball just missing.
Looked like a pretty good pitch right there. Thought it had quite a bit of the strike zone. Curveball that looks like it catches right about letter high and maybe just below the letters, but not called a strike for Porcello.
Too high again, and it's 3-1 now to Avila. That has been one of the issues for Porcello on the years. The pitches have been up. Certainly something that he's been known as over the years, especially in a Tigers uniform, has been a sinker ball pitcher, and even that two-seamer has been up, and that's been a problem for him.
Yeah, and you look at the home run totals, and it's obvious that his location has not been what he wants. See Napoli there with apparently a broken glove or a torn glove, and right now they'll be chasing a new one down for him at first base.
Well, Fans Nesson is looking for the best backyard ballparks in New England. Upload a video of your backyard ballpark to NESSN.com/ballparks. Enter today. If you are the winner, Jerry and I will visit your backyard ballpark.
Hey, well, that's supposed to be my read.
Oh, you read that?
No,
I don't know.
You come off vacation, and now you're going to take my only read of the game, and you're going to take it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, nice going.
I just read what they put in front of me. I don't know what you got. You read that this last week?
I've been reading that every night.
Can I have that one back for a second? I just want to see what it says, just to make sure that.
Well, you don't know. You just read it.
Well, no. But it says, enter today. If you are the winner, Jerry and I will visit your backyard ballpark. So clearly,
before I read,
for me to read.
Don and I.
Me. Not you. Now Napoli is back with a new glove. One out. Martinez at second base. 3-1 pitch coming to Avila as he backs out.
Don is back on.
Nesson. They let you read promos while I was gone?
I read one promo. That promo. That was it.
Oh, wow.
And I actually kind of enjoyed it.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Yeah, well, it's over.
I know.
It's canceled.
I know.
Larry Krause waiting on deck. We saw him earlier this year, and now here with the Tigers playing at first base. Waiting on deck, one out. Martinez at second base.
I know Hannigan and Porcello having a very difficult time getting on the same page, using multiple signs with the man at second base.
One out. Martinez at second base, and Avila waiting on a 3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Porcello comes back to get him. Second strikeout for Porcello.
Looked like the slider that time, going down and in to Aviles to pick up the strikeout. There you see the breaking ball coming out of the hand, the spin on it.
So two down. J.D. Martinez at second base, and here is Mark Krause. 149, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. So now if people are feeling badly for you in the truck, they are scurrying to try to figure out if they can get a promo for you to read so you don't feel left out.
Yeah. It's coming up soon.
So I think on the next foul ball you may hear a promo from Jerry Remy.
You took the one I wanted, though.
Oh. Here's another curveball, and this time it's a strike. 1-1. Don't be nervous.
Just do the game, will you?
Framed nicely by Hannigan there for strike 2. 2 strikeouts now for Porcello, and an inning and 2/3 trying to work his way around. Leadoff single and a wild pitch. J.D. Martinez. Up and away, 2-2. Porcello working deliberately with a runner at second base and J.D. Martinez. Popped up left side of the infield. Bogarts takes charge. And Xander puts it away to end the second inning. To an inning and a half without a score tonight from Fenway. Pitcher be eligible to win the MVP award? Text 1 for yes, text 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions as well as privacy policy.
Well, the old argument there is, you know, they have their own award, the
right.
Cy Young Award, but I believe they should be able to win the MVP.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about Pedro Martinez earlier. Kind of got robbed of winning the Cy Young and the MVP in 1 year. Of course, Dennis Eckersley, a guy who has won MVP and then a Cy Young Award winner, and I can see both sides of that argument. But the guy you had on last night, Roger Clemens, also another guy. But I think that you can be both. I agree with you. I think while they do have their own award, that you can be that valuable. You can be the MVP too.
Absolutely. I've never questioned that. I've always felt like, you know, a pitcher. They got the Cy Young, but also, I mean, they can be the MVP of the league. Without those guys on your pitching staff, you're not going to go anywhere.
Ball and 2 strikes to Pablo Sandoval, leading it off here in the second. And he fouls it back, still 1-2. Let me ask you this from a leadership standpoint. A guy who throws once every 5 days, does he have the leadership cachet that maybe somebody who's on the field every day does?
Yeah, you can. I think you can have that. You can have a presence, obviously, in the dugout every single day, and in the clubhouse. Pitchers between starts spend their time sometimes in the clubhouse, but most of the time, obviously, on the bench. And I think that you can have a leadership role as a pitcher. There's no question in my mind you can.
Verlander was that guy, and possibly still is that guy for the Tigers. It's 2-2 to Sandoval as a swing and a miss for strike 3. Closed the first by striking out Bogarts. Opens the second by striking out Sandoval.
Back-to-back strikeouts now for Verlander on the evening. You look at his totals so far this season. A strikeout high is 6. He did that 2 starts ago against Minnesota.
One down here in the second inning brings up Hanley Ramirez. Red Sox DH tonight with David Ortiz on the bench. Scheduled night off for Big Papi. Hanley with 19 homers, 46 runs batted in. David is available, but a scheduled day off, according to John Farrell before the game. Hanley was 3 for 10 in the series against the Astros, but just 3 for 24 on the road trip. On the ground up the middle, it is Iglesias off balance, and he can do it from shortstop. We all know that. Takes care of Hanley Ramirez, 2 down. On Wednesday, the Red Sox will celebrate Pedro and pay tribute to the fans from his native Dominican Republic by repeating his number retirement ceremony in Spanish as part of the Viva Dominicana night. All fans will receive a Dominican flag and postcards, replica of Martinez's Hall of Fame plaque copy, and that'll also be in Spanish. Visit RedSox.com to get your tickets today.
That should be a fun night here at Fenway, too.
Maybe you could read it to us all in Spanish, since you know Spanish and fluent Spanish.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the night brings.
2 down for Mike Napoli. All seriousness, do you know anything more than Buenas noches, amigos?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact.
I forgot. There's Buenos Tardes.
Yeah, Buenos Dias. We have one Buenos Dias every year.
Yeah, it's Patriots Day, right?
Right.
Yeah. Base is empty here for Napoli. Napoli has certainly been picking it up at the plate since the All-Star break. It's 4 for 8 in the series against the Astros. One of a couple of different leads he provided the Red Sox last night's game, as this one has popped up. Foul ground. Back comes Avila as far as he can, but won't have a play onto the screen. It goes. Mike Napoli, the subject of our Lowe's Never Stop Improving profile. Went 7 for 15 in the last 4 games with 4 extra base hits and 3 RBIs. In his previous 12 games, Napoli was just 4 for 39 with an extra base hit and an RBI. Jerry, what has he been doing lately to be more effective at the plate?
Well, he got some pitches that were very hittable for him, on that last road trip. Pitches middle in, a couple of breaking balls that hung out over the plate, pretty much similar to that last pitch that he fouled off. He'd like to have that one back again. Now they're going to go fastball inside.
And he cleans it out to left. Cespedes will get there. Ball kind of knuckled on him, but he makes the grab. That ends the second inning. We're through 2 without a score from Fenway. as we welcome Tom Lydon into the booth, Fox 25 sports director. Of course, a great partnership with Essen and Fox 25. Good to see you, Tom. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much. This date has been circled on the calendar. When you spend 10.5 years in Detroit, as I did, Tigers come to town in your new hometown. It's an exciting night.
Yeah, a little different right now for both the Red Sox and the Tigers. It wasn't long ago these two teams were in the American League Championship Series. Now both really kind of struggling this season.
You know, at least the Red Sox can say they won a World Series. Could you imagine spending as much money as the Tigers have spent on their roster and their talent, and you don't have the World Series championship to show for it? And now they're in a position where truly they should be sellers in the next week, right?
Of course, injured is Miguel Cabrera, who you had a chance to cover for so many years, such a special guy, especially at the plate.
Miguel Cabrera is unreal, and the difference that he made from the moment he arrived with this franchise, you can't even quantify. But even more than that, I think Victor Martinez has been such a crucial part to this team. He had 32 home runs last year, and he had the knee injury this spring training, and unfortunately never really got on track. He's still trying to get back.
This is lined sharply, quickly up over the head of Diaz in left. Iglesias headed for second base, and to me that has been one of the most surprising thing for Iglesias. Jerry, we knew about his defense, but how about the offense, sitting at 325 coming in?
Yeah, that's really come around for him. And, you know, we had no idea when he was here what kind of hitter he would be, but he is proving this year that he's a quality hitter. Gets a fastball down in the zone that time. Not a bad pitch by Porcello, but hits a line shot that quickly gets up over the head of Diaz in left field. So you got the combination now of the offense and the defense from Iglesias.
Well, second straight inning that the Tigers have had the lead runner on. J.D. Martinez was left at second, a double this time for Iglesias, and here's Anthony Gose, formerly of the Toronto Blue Jays, visiting with Tom Lydon from Fox 25, and which he had the chance to cover Jim Leland during his time there. And now it is Brad Ausmus as this one is fouled off down the third base line. Sandoval leaning in. Does not have a play, and for Ausmus, kind of been a tough go of it so far.
You know, it has. He's on a hot seat for sure. This is a guy who came in here before the 2014 season, right after the Tigers had gone to the American League Championship Series. In fact, Leland told his squad after the ALCS in the visiting clubhouse here at Fenway Park that he was going to retire. So he left a great legacy of success here in Detroit. Brad had big shoes to fill. And, you know, going back to Victor, Leland actually said something really key about Victor. You talk about leadership in a clubhouse, and he said guys can be leaders and you can say they're going to do it vocally, but it doesn't work unless you're doing it on the field. And that's why Victor was so crucial.
Ground ball to second base. Holt looks the runner to third as he throws out Gose for the first out of the inning as Iglesias takes third base.
That good out there by Anthony Gose as he pulls that ball on the ground with nobody out to get the man to third base now with one out. And Red Sox look like at this stage of the ball game they will play the infield back with the one out. Well, since you've been in Boston, how do you compare both Detroit and Boston as sports towns?
They're fantastic. You know, the big difference is that in Michigan, you also have Michigan and Michigan State. And you don't have that real deep passion for college sports here, but as far as professional sports go, they're even for sure. And there's even more passion for professional sports here in Boston, I think.
We talk about payroll, and yes, the Tigers are spending a lot of money. Mike Ilitch, of course, their owner, and has had so much success with the Red Wings in the past. Not the same here with the Tigers.
And he's so passionate about baseball. You know, he was a minor league baseball player, and he so badly wants a championship from these Tigers. He's won 4 Stanley Cups with the Wings, and he's done everything he can to try to get it done here.
This will drop down into center field for a base hit. Iglesias will jog home. It's an RBI single for Ian Kinsler, and it's a Tigers 1-0 lead. So leadoff double turns into a run for the Tigers.
Kinsler picks up his 44th RBI of the season with the base hit to center field. Looks like the fastball again from Porcello out over the plate. Maybe not the fastball. Might have been a breaking ball, 86 miles an hour right there. And Kinsler takes it into center field for the base hit.
So Kinsler picks up his 44th RBI of the year and brings up Cespedes. Now Justin Verlander going in tonight's game for the Tigers, and so dominant for so many years. Looks like kind of a different guy right now.
You know, Jerry, you remember Frank Tanana, and you remember how much of a power pitcher Frank Tanana was. I don't know that Justin Verlander has gotten to that point yet of his career, but he was such a power pitcher for so long, and I guess you can still quantify him that way. But if he's going to throw that 92, 93 and not get it up to 97, 98 later in the game, as you guys were just talking about a couple innings ago, he may have to reinvent how he pitches. I mean, he's on the hook for $28 million through 2021. That is a big investment.
Of course, the days of having Scherzer in the rotation, Rick Porcello there as well. They got Price in it now, but looks a little bit different than it has in the past.
You know, it all started with Doug Fister. There's been a lot of criticism about that trade where Doug Fister went to the Nationals. And in many respects, many people feel that it started going downhill from there. You know, they slid it. They slid Fister to the Nationals, and then they replaced him with Drew Smyly, and then ultimately were able to get David Price by using Drew Smyly. But then they couldn't afford Scherzer. They weren't going to spend that kind of money. And now the question becomes, where is David Price? Is he on the block this week? Will he be on this team a week from tonight?
A lot of questions for both of these teams, the Red Sox and the Tigers, as things shake down. Tom Lydon, thanks so much for coming on. It's great to see you.
Oh, it's great.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Watching and listening to you guys, and it's great to be here with you tonight.
Our partnership with Fox 25 is to right field. Victorino coming in, and he makes the running catch for the second out, and back to the bag at first goes Kinsler. So Victorino able to make the grab. That one slicing away from him for the second out of the inning. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Victor Martinez. Victor struck out swinging in the first inning, 1 of 2 Ks for Rick Porcello. Tigers striking first here in the third inning. Napoli holding on Kinsler at first as the pitch over the inside corner for a strike.
Kinsler, a guy that'll run once in a while. 6 steals on the season, caught 4 times.
Ball and a strike down to Martinez. Runner goes. The pitch outside. Hannigan's throw is going to be not in time. A stolen base. Tim Wilke had to get a good look. And Kinsler able to steal second into scoring position with 2 down in the inning.
Very good jump at first base by Kinsler. And you see that pitch. It's almost like a pitch out right there for Hannigan. Good throw. Right on the money, but just beat by Ian Kinsler with that head first slide. Looks like the hand came off the base, but the foot was on it.
And Wilke was waiting to see what happened there as he took a good long look before making the call.
Yeah, watch the left hand come off the base, but I believe that foot goes right immediately on it before it comes completely off. As Bogaerts holds the tag.
In the air down the left field line. Sandoval going hard, but that'll go into the seats and out of his reach. So Martinez with another chance here at the plate with 2 down, and Ian Kinsler at second base. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Gary Streisky with you. Game 1 of a 3-game series from Fenway Park. Red Sox and Detroit Tigers. In the top of the third, the Tigers have scored on an RBI single by Ian Kinsler and lead it 1-0. Flared foul off to the left. Good to have the striker back in the house again.
Yeah. Old Gary Streisky. It's been a long time since I've seen him. He's actually gotten older.
Hairless.
Don't want to bring that part up, guys. Sometimes reunion tours are even better than the debuts. It's good to have the band back together.
The band is back.
I have to agree.
Your Moss is fabulous.
Still up there.
Looks
hopefully.
good. Looks solid, too.
Yep. Super solid.
Flowing. 2-2 to Victor Martinez. Good pitch, but no strike. Everybody headed to the dugout.
Wow. I'll tell you what, there have been a couple in this game. My goodness. I mean, how can you throw a better pitch than that? It's right down the middle. It's knee high. And it's a no-doubter.
So Victor Martinez with another chance here. We'll see a 7th pitch in this at bat as Porcello spirals off the backside of the mound. No throw. In the air to right. Victorino going back and making the catch. Good jump. And he reels it in to end the inning. The Tigers strike first, take a 1-0 lead. Presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. Get up to the minute on everything happening at the Hall of Fame with live reports from Cooperstown. Thank you very much. And they're looking for a hot dog from you, Jerry.
I don't have any money.
You're out of cash.
They caught me at the end of a road trip.
A little light in the wallet right now. I also understand that you have purchased a television in the last 24 hours. You may be a little light in the wallet area as we arrived at the ballpark today. You have this giant monitor now here in the booth. It's like a drive-in movie, and I have this little thing over here that is very, very small, but you have this incredible. I mean, this thing is, are you kidding me? This thing is like it's not even close.
No, I got a little home theater going over here. It's
you have like a theater room, and I have this 6-inch thing. It's like a little tablet. My iPad is bigger than this.
Yeah, well, you should bring it in and do the games all. Whip out and buy yourself a monitor.
This is on the ground foul. So what'd you do? You arrived today. You pull in from Houston. You look at the monitor you have, and you say, "Oh no,
I was not happy. I was not happy with it.
It's not going to work."
And I like, so I could see the pitches better. Obviously, a larger screen, and so
now you have this.
We went out and we got one.
It is
$128.
Wow.
It's not bad.
That's great. I mean, now you don't even have to look at the field. De Aza lets this pass. Maybe coming sometime in the near future that you could do the game from home.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
Get yourself a big screen and just park yourself in your big love chair.
Actually, I kind of feel like I'm home right now.
In the air to left. Cespedes to his left. And De Aza's the first out of the third inning. They'll join Red Sox wives and Boston-based nonprofit Cradles to Crayons at tomorrow's game against Detroit. Red Sox wives and volunteers who collect baby shampoo, baby lotion, size and diapers, baby wipes, crib sheets, onesies, and cash donations starting at 2:35 p.m. through the second inning at each gate at Fenway Park. Of course, we play late-day baseball tomorrow, 4 p.m. start here at Fenway Park for the middle game of the three-game series between the Red Sox and the Tigers. Here is Shane Victorino with one away. Shane at 247 coming into tonight's game. A home run, 4 runs batted in. Verlander has retired the first 7 Red Sox that he's faced in the game tonight. Seven career starts at Fenway Park. 2-3, the 3.97 earned run average. In the air to right. J.D. Martinez won't get there. Drops in for a hit, and the Red Sox have their first base runner of the night.
Shane Victorino taking a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Verlander. Maybe the hottest he's thrown all night, and slicing the ball to the opposite field in front of J.D. Martinez. See Martinez setting up, breaks to his left, and the ball's going to obviously fall in front of him for the base hit. The Red Sox finally on the board with the hits.
1 out, 1 on. Ryan Hanigan hitting at 220 with a home run, 9 runs batted in. This one fouled off just below us. That one running in on the hands of Hanigan. Top of the Red Sox order, Mookie Betts on deck with 1 out and 1 on.
Victorino, a perfect 5 for 5, as you can see on the graphic. In stolen base attempts, he's picked his spots very well when available to play.
On the ground and through into left field. Up to second base goes Victorino on the base hit by Ryan Hanigan, and the Red Sox have put together back-to-back base hits.
Stanley, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox when you demand performance in action on the job site.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. They leave for a week and stuff's totally off the charts.
Well, you know, there was a day when I read all the promos, and all of a sudden you were reading all the promos.
I had nothing to do with that.
No, it was the advertisers. They probably said, get that guy away from reading our promos.
2 on, 1 away. Mookie Betts, the batter, lined out to right in the first inning. Second time through here for Verlander through the Red Sox order. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest using the promo code NESSN. 2 on, 1 away. Get Victorino at second, Hannigan at first. First noise of the night for the Red Sox. And a foul tip, 2-1.
And no fastball that time for Mookie Betts on the 2-0 count. Slider with the man in scoring position. Betts fouling it off. They slightly shade him to the opposite field in the outfield. They play him to pull in the infield.
Brock Hole waiting on deck. Alejandro De Aza flied out to left. A single to right for Victorino. Single to left for Hannigan. Now Betts jumps back out of the way of what appeared to be ball 3, but it is called a strike. 2-2. Wow.
Strike zone's all over the place, isn't it?
He's jumping out of the way of this.
Yeah, this ball's inside, and Verlander gets a little bit of a gift here.
Tim Timmons with the play tonight. Slap foul. Protecting the plate there is Betts. Still 2-2.
Looks like some tough weather out to our, what would that be, our north?
I think that's west.
What?
I think this is west, isn't it? This is on the ground foul, late swing. Isn't this west?
Yeah, I'm looking over here.
Oh, you're looking that way. Okay.
That would be looking west. If you're looking over the third base foul pole, that's looking north, and that's where I was
that's what
looking
you're talking
out in that
about.
area there. Yeah,
Yep.
that looks
Yep.
pretty. Looked like some nasty weather in that area out there. As long as it stays away from Fenway.
One out, Victorino at second base, Hannigan at first. Battle here between Verlander and Betts. Mookie takes it, and it is a full count down.
Jumping back again. This time it's called a ball, a little bit more inside with that fastball from Verlander. That one 95. So there has been an increase in velocity from Verlander from the first inning to now.
Betts strikes out. Big strikeout for Verlander. It's his third, and it's out number 2 of the inning.
Yeah, back to the slider for Verlander to pick up the strikeout. So 2 strikeouts on sliders tonight, 1 on a fastball. There's that breaking ball to the outside part of the plate. Good pitch by Verlander. So it's up to Brock Holt now to try to get the Red Sox their first run.
2 on, 2 down. Holt a ground out in the first inning, 0 for 1 as he grounded out to Mark Krause at first base. Late on the 95 mile-an-hour fastball, it was up. The Sox have done well, as Alex Spear points out from the Boston Globe. 15-9 when Brock starts at second base, where he is again tonight. Pedroia is still sore with the hamstring injury. strike two.
Good curveball that time from Verlander. Both the curveball and slider combination from Justin Verlander, along with the fastball and changeup.
Holt to right center, in for a hit. Around from second comes Victorino to tie this ball game 1-1. A 2-out RBI single for Brock Holt. It's 1-1.
Verlander tried to double up on the curveball. This time Holt was ready for it. Brock now with a 4-game hitting streak as he takes that breaking ball, almost the exact same pitch, and plants it into center field. Underneath it just a little bit, enough to get it up in the air and up over the head of Ian Kinsler at second base. So a 2-out base hit by Holt ties the ball game.
Now a chance for the Red Sox to go on top for Xander Bogaerts. With Hannigan at third, Holt at first, 2 down. Second look here for Bogaerts tonight at Verlander. He struck out swinging in the first inning. And a swing and a miss for strike one. And again at third base, Brock Holt across the diamond at first base with 2 down. Throw to first, and diving back is Holt, held on there by Kraus.
A very quick feed by Verlander on that pickoff attempt at first base. See Brock with 5 steals, caught 1 time. Making sure Verlander is that he doesn't get too big a lead at first base.
He's pretty big, 6'5", 225, but a good move. In the dirt, gathered by Avila. .403 with runners in scoring position, even better since May the 23rd. Right guy up here in the right spot. Verlander got the first out of the inning in De Aza, but then give up 2 hits, struck out Betts, then an RBI single by Holt. Now a chance for Boston to take the lead. Bogaerts with a late cut, fouls it off into the grandstand to the right. Now tune in August 18th and 19th to Nesson for coverage of the WEEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Telethon presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. Verlander trying to get out of this jam without any more damage. Last time out, lasting just 3 2/3 against Baltimore, gave up 7 runs in 3 2/3, giving up 8 hits. The check on Holt, diving back again. Holt goes as Bogaerts fouls it off himself, and down he goes.
It looks like it got him maybe right on the knee. Fastball running back inside, and you can see Bogaerts fouling it, right off the inside of the knee, and down he goes.
Pablo Sandoval on deck, and again at third. Holt at first with 2 down, a run in. Ball and 2 strikes to Xander Bogaerts. Again, Verlander concerned with Holt. Of course, he did run on the last pitch. Another check. Joey Davis looking on from the Red Sox dugout as Bogaerts takes a very close pitch that Verlander wanted. It's ball 2 instead.
And tried to drop that slider down and away. Bogaerts would not bite at it. Pretty tough pitch to lay off right there.
Fights it off, foul, do it again as Bogaerts will see his 7th pitch. Well, Tuesday on the Red Sox Report, Brock Holt is a star in Cincinnati. Tim Wakefield raises funds on the course, and the Rocket returns to throw BP. Catch it all on the Red Sox Report Tuesday at 5. Justin Verlander in a battle here with Xander Bogaerts with the go-ahead run. 90 feet away with Hannigan at third base. Bogaerts bloops it to right center field. Over goes Martinez, and from center it is Anthony Goes. Able to run that down with Martinez there as well. Red Sox get a run, tie the game 1-1. Happen. Watch out. Good things are happening at local people. EasternBank.com. Good things happening. Sun setting 1-1 the score as we head to the top of the 4th inning.
That's actually setting in the West on. In case you were wondering.
No, I know. Both teams with a run, both teams with 3 hits. Porcello back on the mound. 4, 5, and 6. J.D. Martinez, Nick Castellanos, and Alex Avila. Porcello gave up his run in the 3rd after Jose Iglesias had doubled. Ian Kinsler drove him in, picked up his 44th RBI of the year. On the corner for strike 2. Takes the plate, fouls it off to the right. It's time now for the Geico Red Sox moment. All season long, Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary. Their 97th game of the 75 season. Red Sox lost to the Yankees 8-6. Jim Rice, though, went 4 for 5 with an RBI for the Red Sox. 1-2 to left center, and that is going to fall in for a base hit. Third straight inning, the Tigers have had the lead runner on.
Well, J.D. Martinez came into this game 0 for his last 10, but he's 2 for 2 now against Porcello. He started off the second inning with a base hit on a fastball, gets another fastball here and puts it into center field for the base hit. He was looking a lot higher than where that ball was going.
There's Nick Castellanos, who flied out to center field in the second inning. Castellanos coming in, hitting at .244 on the year. It's one of these situations where Rick Porcello this year has been looking for a ground ball desperately to get a double play. That's what he's used to, but it has not happened. We'll see. Maybe it does this time. To third, Sandoval on to second, on to first. It is a double play. So around the horn they go, and Porcello does get that ground ball for the DP.
And good quick work by Sandoval at third base. Get that ball to your second baseman as quickly as possible so he does not get taken out. There's that ground ball from Porcello, and the quick release by Sandoval to Holt, who has plenty of time to turn that double play before the runner gets on top of him.
So first double play of the night turned by Boston. 2 down in the inning for Alex Avila. He struck out swinging in the second inning. 1 of 2 Ks tonight for Porcello. It's already on the down the middle 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Red Sox shifting on the right side. They keep it tight to the infield.
Tries the changeup that time. Not too many changeups so far for Porcello. You see the defense set up there. 3 men on the right side, and only Sandoval left at the shortstop position.
.94 again, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
It looks like he's trying to go upstairs by design against Avila.
Guy that he has thrown to 6 seasons, Rick Porcello, with Avila in behind the dish, and now trying to get him out.
Upstairs again. Didn't get it where he wanted that time. Too much down in the zone that time, as they wanted to go upstairs with the fastball. Try it up there again.
Fouls it off a little higher that time.
See Hannigan, he wants Porcello shaking off signs, even though he's not putting down signs, and that gets the hitter guessing. You know, what's he going to throw me? Is it going to be the fastball, breaking ball? And it's all a mind game that they try to play with the hitters.
Especially with a guy who has caught him before. You start thinking, okay, if he's shaking this off, what's he thinking now?
Exactly.
To left, and De Aza is there to make the catch that ends the inning. We're 3.5 deep. The game tied 1-1. New technology that puts your needs first. See what's new at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Now back at Fenway Park, a 1-1 score here. The Tigers out hitting the Red Sox 4-3, and it's on to the bottom of the fourth inning. Sandoval, Ramirez, and Napoli works out to be 4, 5, and 6 in the Red Sox order. Red Sox getting their first run of the game in the last of the third. And Sandoval cranks it foul for strike one. Pablo a strikeout victim in the second. Verlander has 3 in the game. Popped up, ducking back. Castellanos, the third baseman, puts it away. Sandoval retired. One of the first out here at the bottom of the fourth inning. So Verlander trying to bounce back after gave up a run in the third as the first out of the fourth inning. And here comes Hanley Ramirez. Hanley grounded out to the shortstop Jose Iglesias. In the second inning, 0 for 1. Now 3 for his last 25 at the plate. We'll take a look at a strike, 1-1. Ramirez now, Napoli next as the Red Sox bat here in the home half of the fourth inning. To left and a base hit. He came back with the gas, and Hanley Ramirez lines it into left field for a hit. Well, get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox.
Hanley gets pitched inside a lot, and that time he cleans out the fastball with the base hit to left field, but it seems like the book on Ramirez is, a lot of fastballs inside, especially down and in, then breaking balls away. That time he was able to pick up a base hit on the inside fastball.
Like Napoli, as Ramirez had just gotten his lead, and back over again goes Verlander. Check again, and he slides off the bag and almost was out.
Well, you're almost better off going in head first, because you go in like that, you could hurt yourself, and maybe Hanley did hurt his ankle. Slides right off the bag and grabs it with his hand.
Sai Takahashi, a trainer out there checking on him.
One more look at that return to first base. You'll see the left foot slip right off the bag, and then able to grab the bag with his right hand, grabbing the back of his leg.
Cue shot foul off the end of the bat. Napoli flat out to the left fielder Cespedes in the second inning, 0 for 1. Line to left, and a base hit for Napoli. Up to second goes Hanley Ramirez. And the Red Sox, with one out, have runners at first and second.
That's been a much different Mike Napoli over the last few games. That time he gets a breaking ball away and still covers the plate and hooks the ball for the base hit. That was a pitch that was giving him big-time problems, but that time he stays right on it and picks up the base hit. So back-to-back hits for the Red Sox here in the fourth inning.
2 on, 1 away. Alejandro De Aza with a chance here to do some damage. His second look tonight at Verlander. He flied out to left field in the third inning, 0 for 1. Piazza 2 for 14 on the trip. And a swing and a miss there to even the count of 1-1.
Piazza sitting on the fastball, does not get it, gets the slider that time.
Hanley Ramirez at second base, Mike Napoli at first base, 1 away in the Boston fourth inning. Piazza hits a one-hopper to second. Kinsler to second for 1. On to first for 2. Big double play turned by the Tigers. Ends the fourth inning. Game still tied 1-1. Travels to Poland, Maine to meet up with comedian actor Bob Marley. Let's find out the origin of Maine State's slogan. Catch it all on Charlie Moore Sunday night at 8. 1-1 game as we head to the fifth inning. Rick Porcello back on the mound. He'll deal with the bottom third of the Tigers order. Mark Krause, Jose Iglesias, and Anthony Gose. There's strike one. Parts of 3 seasons in the major leagues for Krause. Rays, Angels, Astros. And he won 90 in the majors. We saw him earlier this year with the Rays. As that pitch misses up high, briefly a Ray. He's picked up off waivers from Tampa Bay on July the 6th by the Tigers, and here he is. Curveball missing up top for ball 2. Porcello has given up hits in every inning except for the first. And a swing and a miss evens a count at 2-2.
Trout's claimed off waivers from the Tampa Bay Rays here in July. Hit a home run in his debut for the Tigers.
Swing and a miss, and Krause strikes out. It's time now for NESN Sports Update. Al Duncan standing by live in Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame ceremonies. Al?
Yes, I am, Don. In fact, I'm at the Clark Sports Complex. Right now, it just kind of looks like a field with a bunch of tents, but this is where Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, John Smoltz, Craig Biggio will actually give their speeches on Sunday. Preceding that, though, we've got plenty of information for you, reports, live coverage from here in Cooperstown all weekend long. It starts tonight on NESN Sports Today at immediately following Red Sox coverage. And I will get a chance to talk with Pedro one-on-one on Sunday after he gives his speech. I'm interested, though, Don and Jerry, to test your. I just want to see if you know who's being represented the most out of the 4 that will be inducted 2 days from now. You would think Boston because of its proximity, right?
Right.
But
I would say Pedro.
I
would say Pedro, but apparently I'm going to be wrong. I have that feeling.
I think it's a trick question, and I'm going to say Biggio because he is very, very popular down in the Houston area. What do you say, Al?
10-1 Astros fans. There's more Astros fans here than even the Astros fans are actually really surprised. Like, one came up to me and said, "Are you surprised by how many Houston fans are actually here?" Categorically, the entire Cooperstown as of now, and there's not a lot of people here yet. It's all Astros fans.
Huh, how about that?
That's surprising. Yeah, a great opportunity for the Astro fans to get to the Hall and see the Hall of Fame, and obviously watch one of their favorite ball players get inducted.
Well, Duncan, thank you very much. As a line out to right for Iglesias is out number 2 of the 5th inning. Look forward to reports all weekend long from L. Duncan. Not a lot of activity right now, but there will be very soon there. It'll be picking up.
Yes, it will. It'll be quite a weekend in Cooperstown. You know, the reason I said Biggio, we were just down in Houston, and it's really a big deal to those folks down there that Biggio's going into the Hall of Fame. And, a lot of lean years for the Houston Astros, and some very good ones, and some very good players coming out of that organization.
Anthony goes a foul ball, and strike 1 to Goes. He grounded out to second baseman Brock Holt in the 3rd inning. Did they have the roof open at any point while you were there?
Just during the day prior to the game.
Oh, okay.
And it was hot.
I don't think I've ever done a game there with the roof open in all the years we've been going there.
I have not either, and it's a good thing because outside was really hot. High 90s with that heavy humidity you get in Houston. Yep. They had it open, because they have the real grass there, and so they open it during the day, but they do close it for the game.
Swinging a foul tip for strike 3. 4.5 done. It's time now to check out the Red Sox box score. $50 to the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress. Echo Store is proud to ensure the individuals with Down syndrome feel valued. To learn more, visit echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. Fifth inning and a 1-1 game. Shane Victorino leading it off and taking strike one from Verlander. Victorino singled to right field in the third inning. Came around to score the Red Sox lone run of the night. Came in on an RBI single by Brock Holt. To left, Cespedes on the move will get there for out number one. So one down, and Ryan Hannigan coming up. Single to left field in the third inning. Red Sox have collected 5 hits off Verlander so far tonight. Mentioned that Verlander just went 3 2/3 innings last time out against the Orioles. Giving up 8 hits and 7 runs. Only threw 84 pitches in that outing. Has gone up over 100 since his return. His high on the year, 117. That was at New York against the Yankees. Jeff Jones is pitching coach, keeping track over there with the counter. Here's 71. And it is a strike to Hannigan. 1-1. Surprising to see the record for Verlander at 0-3 coming in. The ERA of 6.62. He drops that in there for strike two.
Quite a few breaking balls tonight from Verlander. Sliders, curveballs. Maybe trying to mix in a few more different pitches than that fastball that we've been so accustomed to seeing rise during the course of a game. But highest tonight has been about 95.
Wanted it on the corner.
Yeah, back to the slider again, to the outside part of the plate.
Center field, back goes Kinsler, in comes Goes, and it's Goes who puts it away for out number 2 of the inning. Ace Ticket has your seats to be here at Fenway Tuesday when Pedro Martinez's number is retired. Tickets start at just $39, and Ace still has your seats to Taylor Swift tomorrow evening in Foxborough. Great seats at great prices. Visit aceticket.com. 2 down here in the 5th. And it brings up Mookie Betts. 0 for 2 tonight, has lined out to right, struck out swinging. Tigers who started the second half after the All-Star break at home on their first road trip since the break. They're 22-21 away from Comerica Park on the year. That's batting with 2 down, bases empty here in the bottom of the 5th inning. (3-0). Well, Verlander's pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 4 2/3, 5 hits. So 1 run, hasn't walked anybody, struck out 3, and 77 pitches deep. Strike called. The Tigers still without Cabrera, out with the left calf strain. Also without Joe Nathan, right elbow flexor on the 60-day DL. One fouled off, and Verlander battling back. Full count. To right, and Martinez will get there to make the catch to end the inning. Verlander has a 1-2-3 fifth, tied 1-1. .900 accredited charities throughout New England. Now we head to the sixth inning at Fenway Park. Game tied 1-1. Rick Porcello back on the mound. The top of the Tigers order: Ian Kinsler, Yoenis Cespedes, and Victor Martinez. Rising fastball for strike one. Kinsler 1 for 2 tonight and an RBI single in the third inning. Picked up his 44th RBI of the year. Curveball driven to center, and Betts going back, twists around and makes the catch. Started over the wrong shoulder initially, but recovers and makes the grab on the dirt of the track for out number one.
Yeah, very nice adjustment by Mookie Betts in center field. You're right, he started off like to his right and then had to completely spin around and go back in the other direction to make the catch. That ball had kind of a weird flight to it. Flight path was a little bit different than Mookie expected, but he makes the adjustment and makes the catch.
One down, 6 in a row, retired by Porcello, and here is Cespedes, who has grounded out to short and line to right. Of course, the reason the Red Sox have Rick Porcello, the trade for Yoenis Cespedes back in December of this past offseason. Cespedes last year hitting .269. And a swing and a miss, 0-2. .51 total games with the Red Sox after coming over from the Oakland A's. Ended up with 5 home runs in a Red Sox uniform, 33 RBIs. Fly ball foul off to the right out of play. Do you remember the day that they got Cespedes? Red Sox at the time, and I remember hearing John Farrell talking about it, they were going to have him play right field here at Fenway Park. And he arrived, and it appeared he didn't want to play right field here for the Red Sox.
Yeah, he strictly was a left fielder in Oakland, and that's where he wanted to play when he got here to Boston, and never did see right field for the Red Sox on a regular basis. And, of course, as you mentioned, what happened in the offseason, getting Porcello. Cespedes having a good year for the Tigers.
14 homers, 54 RBIs, a .291 average. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Gary Streisky with you. It is game 1 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Tigers. Red Sox returning home, and the Tigers with a run in the top of the 3rd. Red Sox answering with a run in the bottom of the 3rd, and here we are tied 1-1. His outfield assists always part of Yoenis Cespedes' game. 8 of them this year for Cespedes. Got a great arm as he fouls it off to the right out of play.
He's a really good athlete. I mean, he's strong. He can hit power. He can hit for average. He's got a tremendous throwing arm, as you mentioned, Don, from left field.
Since 2012, he's got 43 outfield assists, ranked 2nd during that time span. A couple of guys traded for each other, going head to head here. Here's an 0-2 pitch. And it is driven foul on the ground. Another breaking ball there from Porcello. Victor Martinez on deck with 1 out here in the Tigers' 6th inning. Tigers team a game under 500. They're 10.5 games back of the Royals in the Central. As Cespedes waves that pitch. Fastball up. He chases. That's 5 strikeouts for Porcello. We check in with Gary Streisky.
Guys, you were talking a couple innings ago how Porcello and Hannigan would go back and forth and sort of play mind games and shake each other off, or at least Porcello shaking Hannigan off with no sign whatsoever, just to get into the hitter's head, which actually reminded me of a tip that bullpen coach Dana Lavangi was actually giving Rob Bradford and myself a little tip on, especially particularly with breaking ball pitchers, sinker pitchers, curveball pitchers like Rick Porcello, and it all has to do with grip, your standard, 2-seam grip just like this. If you're throwing it like this, a batter can pick up because that big blocky MLB logo. So all you really have to do is switch it up, show them the white side of this baseball, so that way they really don't know what they're saying. So it's the same exact grip right here, but you're exposing nothing but the white right here, so the batter doesn't exactly know what you're throwing. As opposed to this right here, they can pick that up at 60 feet, 6 inches away, see that logo coming at you, pick up the spin of the ball, and at that point kind of know and are a little bit hinted at what you're throwing, which is pretty incredible to me because you're throwing 95, 94 miles per hour, Jerry. And obviously back in your playing day, was it as simple as that, being able to see the rotation based off of a little bit of a blob right there?
Yeah, pretty much it is. It doesn't take long out of the pitcher's hand to pick up the rotation of the baseball, and that's pretty interesting point there. That's one I never really thought about, checking out that part of the baseball. But, yeah, you can pick up the spin of the baseball very quickly.
Victor Martinez flying out to De Aza. 1-2-3, 6th inning for Porcello. Game tied 1-1. Sports Service. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on 400 mobile and connected devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. Back at Fenway Park, Red Sox returning home to begin this homestand in the midst of a 1-1 game. To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. And it'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Red Sox in the inning. Brock Holt, Xander Bogaerts, Pablo Sandoval coming up in this tie game. Holt grounded out to first in the first, single to center to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. Verlander starting this inning, 80 pitches deep into his outing through the first 5. Outfield straight away here on Holt. Holt is it safely now in his last 9 home games. There's that pitch rising, a ball and a strike.
I really enjoyed that piece by the striker last inning. It's something I didn't know, about the grip of the baseball. So you don't show that spot on the baseball when releasing it, the two-seam fastball.
See, we were trying to get tips right there, Jerry, because Bradfo and I actually were trying to get an advantage for ourselves during the media game, and Bradfo and myself were throwing, and Dana was telling us, I don't throw any of that junk. I only have one pitch. It's like 60-mile-an-hour fastball, if you can call it that. But anyway, he was saying if we throw anything off speed, pretty much hide the logo so that way the batter can't pick anything up. I didn't have to worry about that, but we both kind of had the light bulbs go off like, wow, pretty simple, but effective.
You guys won the media game this year, didn't you?
We did. I was going to leave that part out because, I don't know if any New York media is watching. I don't want to rub it in, but we did 9-6.
No, you should rub it in because they beat your brains out all the time. So it's about time you guys.
We also don't like to talk about that either. 9-6 was the final score. I think Game 2 is going to be in New York late September.
Oh, so you don't want to talk trash before that game. I get you.
Yeah, because I actually hit a guy, so I'm pretty sure revenge is coming, yeah.
1-2 pitch in the air to right field. J.D. Martinez will have room. And he'll put it away. 1 down here in the 6th inning. Well, it's time now to check out the results of tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. We asked, should the pitcher be eligible to win the MVP award? Get your thoughts. 58% saying yes. So they agreed with us as 58% to 42. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Verlander, who has done that, is 0 for 2 here against Bogaerts as he got Bogaerts to strike out in the 1st. And Bogaerts flied out to center in the 3rd. So his 3rd look. And a liner foul. Bogaerts has been aggressive in each of the at-bats here against Verlander.
Well, there's one thing I just heard from the striker that I didn't like hearing, and the fact that he's already thinking, it's in his head, that he's going to get drilled the next time they play because he hit somebody.
I agree with him, though, don't you? I mean, you're going into that next out, you got somebody. They don't.
See, guys, I'm only taking professional advice, and that's actually something Clay Buchholz was telling me, that if you hit a guy, anticipate and expect somebody to hit you as well. So, hey.
Bogaerts slides it into left, a 1-out single.
Well,
also, Jerry, it's not like they play 162 games. They play 2.
Yeah.
So the memory is very, very short.
No, I understand that, but was it intentional, Gary? Did you hit somebody intentionally?
For some reason, my earbud's cutting out, Jerry. I can't hear you. No,
well,
it wasn't. It was in the 6th inning. I just had another one of those medium fastballs that got away from me.
Well,
and,
so what are you going to worry about?
I wasn't really sending a message, but the message, I guess, was sent, and it was taken. It was delivered.
Did you stare him down? Did you say anything?
I said sorry, is what I said, because I felt bad.
Wow. That should be fine then, I would think.
Never say you're sorry.
Tip number 1.
There's a double play possibility here to second to 1, on to first for 2. And Sandoval grounding into that 6-4-3 twin killing through 6. Tied 1-1. ahead for the Red Sox. Tomorrow, starting pitchers, Tigers will send Alfredo Simon to the mound with an 8-6 record so far in the year, 4.63 ERA. Against the knuckleballer, Stephen Wright, who has a 3-3 mark with a 4.84 earned run average with Boston. This closer look is brought to you by FW Web Selection Expertise Solutions. More at fwweb.com. That's a grounder, sharply hit foul. J.D. Martinez leading it off here in the 7th inning. Singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. 2 of the 4 hits in the game for the Tigers tonight belonging to J.D. Martinez. Pitching line for Porcello, brought to you by Ace Ticket. 6+, 4 hits, 1 run. Hasn't walked anybody, struck out 5. Really his 3rd straight good performance. 6 innings, 2 runs against Miami and a win. Last time out, 2 earned runs against the Angels. And tonight works his way into the 7th inning, having retired the last 8 Tigers in a row.
Against a very good offense tonight, too, against the Detroit Tigers.
Foul back, still 1-2. Castellanos and Alex Avila to follow in the 7th inning. Double-barreled action for the Red Sox in the pen. Robbie Ross Jr. in left. Noe Ramirez on the right. Full count. Martinez fouls it back. Swing and a miss, and this time Porcello is able to strike out J.D. Martinez. That's 6 strikeouts for Porcello.
Yeah, let's look back at the 6 strikeouts for Rick tonight in this game, and you'll see the majority of them, all but 1 on the fastball. Against Victor Martinez on a fastball right there. There's a slider down and in to pick up the strikeout against Avila. Back to the fastball on Krause. Fastball there on Ghost. Cespedes, the fastball up in the zone. And the last fastball right there, J.D. Martinez.
He's got 6 Ks right now. Season high is 7 for Porcello. Castellanos drives this towards right, and on the run is Victorino. 2 down. And now 10 in a row retired by Porcello. A little help from his defense there.
Well, Shane was playing very shallow out there in right field. Got an excellent jump on the ball and able to keep that ball out of the gap for extra bases. See how far Victorino's going to go. He really gets a quick jump and covers a lot of ground in a hurry in right field.
On a Gold Glove out there in right, and handles that. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Alex Avila coming up. His 3rd look tonight at Porcello. They go into the shift on the right side on him. So far, Avila has struck out swinging and lined out to left. One of the things Ryan Hannigan was pretty sure of when he came off the DL was that he would be able to help Rick Porcello. And so far the two have worked together very well. And You have to give him a little bit of kudos as well, as Porcello now with his third straight very good outing. And that's with Hannigan doing the catching.
Good changeup right there, too, by Porcello, keeping it down in the zone. See the changeup grip and the off-speed pitch.
Terry, one of the things I know he told you is that the pitch selection was one of the areas he thought he could maybe perhaps tweak a little bit.
Yeah, I asked him about that, because he watched a lot of the games when Porcello pitched and obviously watched a lot of video and felt that maybe the pitch selection wasn't quite up to Porcello's standards.
2-2.
One of the advantages you have of working with a veteran catcher.
Back past the mound and by the dive of Holt into center field. Avila has got a 2-out base hit. Breaks up a string of 10 in a row retired by Porcello.
Avila gets around on the fastball that time and rifles it right by Porcello to keep Porcello away from the 1-2-3 inning. Fastball inside and able to get the barrel of the bat out and line that ball into center field for the base hit.
So 2 down, Avila at first, and Mark Krause the batter. He is 0 for 2 tonight, having popped out to short and struck out swinging. To center field, Mookie Betts racing over to make the running grab from right center to left center. Let's take a look at the updated Red Sox box score. Roll any DD card online at ddperks.com. Enjoy your free beverage upon enrolling and start earning rewards today. The Red Sox run on Duncan. Last half of the 7th inning with the game tied 1-1. Verlander back on the hill and Hanley Ramirez leading it off. He will pop it up right around second base. Iglesias, the shortstop, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Now Porcello coming off, getting handshakes all the way around and from his manager.
A great job tonight by Rick Porcello in this game. See if the Red Sox can get him a run here and maybe a win.
105 pitches in 7 innings of work as we get into that 8th inning area, and Tazawa up in the pen. Mike Napoli 1 for 2 in the ball game tonight. Slide out to left, singled to left. As one of the Red Sox 6 hits in the game. Not a bad night to be on the monster seats here tonight at Fenway Park. Game time temperature was 71 degrees. Napoli looks at a strike, and it's 1-2. Napoli now, De Aza next. Red Sox batting in their half of the 7th inning against Justin Verlander. Skips in, 2-2. Longest outing of the year for Verlander, 7 2/3 innings. That was at Minnesota. Worked out to be a no decision, giving up only 1 run against a good Minnesota Twins team. Twins team that is right now between the Tigers and the Royals in the American League Central. 4 games better than the Tigers to start tonight's action. In the dirt for ball 3. Like trying to carry over what was a good series in Houston to the beginning of this homestand and what has been a good start to the second half. High fly ball to left center field for Napoli. Onto the warning track to make the catch is Cespedes. 2 down in the 7th inning. Now tomorrow 3:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Steve Lyons will have a complete recap of the run to home base. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? So a fly ball to the warning track for Napoli, who's out number 2 of the 7th inning. And here's Alejandro De Aza. He's grounded into a double play. He's also flied out to left. Third road start of the year for Verlander. 0-1 with a 4.40 ERA coming into tonight's game on the road. To left center field, and that's going to get in for a hit. Alvarez goes to get it back in, but De Aza has a 2-out single. Now tomorrow on Dining Playbook, Billy and Jenny come to you from Steffi's in Southie. Find out about Steffi's themed dinners on weekdays. Plus learn about a local baking company. Catch all that and more tomorrow morning at 9.
That was a pretty good play by Anthony Gose in center field because he tracked that and kept it to a single for De Aza and kept him out of scoring position at second base. When the ball left the bat, you could see where he's playing him to pull. The ball was slicing away from him, and I thought maybe De Aza would have a chance for 2 base hits, but he did a great job covering the ground. And leaves De Aza at first base.
Brad Ausmus coming out of the dugout here. 97 pitches right now for Verlander, who's giving him a look at what you're doing out here. So far, just a conversation. He has not made a move yet with a runner at first and 2 down. Double-barreled action here for the Tigers. Al Albuquerque and Blaine Hardy up for the Tigers. So Ausmus back to the dugout. Here's Shane Victorino, 1 for 2 tonight. Single, scored a run in the third. Flied out to left field in the fifth. For the first, and back to the bag is De Aza. Relatively close there. Another good move by Verlander.
Yeah, 2 different types of moves. The first one just a show me move to first base. The second one, the pickoff attempt move.
Victorino bloops one to center. Kinsler will run it down. Red Sox leave a base runner. We're through 7, tied 1-1. First 7 innings, giving up 1 earned run. Porcello, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Ian Kinsler with an RBI single. Brock Holt with an RBI single for the Red Sox, and all tied up 1-1. Into the 8th we go. As this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia, and after 7 strong from Porcello, into the game is Shinichi Tozawa. 43rd appearance, 1-3 with a 2.88 earned run average. 41 strikeouts, 7 walks, and opponent sitting at 232 against Tozawa. He will first deal with Jose Iglesias, who is 1 for 2 tonight, a double in the 3rd inning, lined out sharply to right field in the 5th. So 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed by Porcello tonight. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 6. Zhao worked last night in the 7th inning at Houston. Jumping on that first pitch, 93-mile-an-hour fastball and fouling it back.
Well-pitched game tonight on both sides. Verlander for the Tigers, Porcello certainly for the Red Sox.
Zhao has allowed runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances. Allowed 2 doubles, a single, 2 runs to score last night. 1 inherited runner. Charged to Agondo. Pitch up high, 1-1. Since the start of 2013, he's now made 185 relief appearances, 4th most in the American League during that time span. Iglesias almost ducked into that fastball.
Iglesias leaning out over the plate, and the fastball up and in by Tazauer almost gets the hand of Iglesias, but he pulls it back and gets it out of the way in time.
An all-star for the first time in his career. And a fly ball back to second, short center. Holt gives way now to the center fielder Betts for the first out of the 8th inning. It's time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Back here at Fenway Park. Enjoy your first Red Sox game here at Fenway.
Yeah, seeing a pitcher's duel tonight.
Anthony goes the batter. 0 for 2 from the number 9 spot in the Tigers' order. He's bounced out to second and struck out swinging. Fly ball right field. Shane Victorino coming in for the second out here of the 8th. Well, shop at Jordan's Furniture now and you'll receive a credit that's equal to twice the amount of mass sales tax. Save 12.5% on your purchase now through August the 14th. Visit Jordans.com for details. 2 outs in the 8th, and coming up here is Ian Kinsler, 1 for 3. An RBI single back in the 3rd, supplying the Tigers with their lone run of the night. Kinsler, 32 years of age, and now in his 2nd season as a member of the Tigers. Is in Texas with the Rangers from 2006 to the middle of 2013. Trying to pick up the corner, but missing. 2-0. Kinsler had 32 home runs in 2012 with the Rangers. This year so far 5, and has been leading off for the Tigers. Right on the corner for strike 1. Albuquerque now warming up alone in the Tigers' pen. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Steve Lyons will have post-game reaction from John Farrell and Rick Porcello. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? 2 down here in the 8th. Verlander looking for his first win of the year. 99 pitches for Verlander through the first 7 innings. Zawa has the first 2 outs here in the 8th. Full count now. The inning continues. On deck is Yoenis Cespedes. Red Sox pitching, retiring 14 of the last 15 Tigers between Porcello and Tazawa. And a foul again off to the right. Red Sox will have 9 1-2 scheduled in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hannigan, Betts, and Holt for John Farrell. Payoff pitch to Kinsler. In the air to center field. Betts goes back, still going, onto the track, at the wall. It's off the wall and ends up behind him. Heading from second towards third, thinking 3 is Kinsler. He will get there without a problem standing. That ball ended up behind Mookie Betts out there in center field and on the wall.
Now, that ball left the bat. It looked like it had a chance to get out of the ballpark. That ball was hit very well by Ian Kinsler. It goes off the wall and trapped in close. There was Mookie Betts kind of ducking so the ball doesn't hit him in the head. Backed up by DeAza, and all the way to third base with the 2 outs goes Kinsler. Kinsler's just a tough out.
Tigers lead the American League in triples, but of course a lot of that comes from where they play at Comerica Park.
Yeah, there's the fastball right there, and straight away center field for Ian Kinsler.
And right before they're about to deal with Cespedes, out comes Carl Willis. So a 2-out triple by Kinsler. Now Cespedes with a chance to put the Tigers on top.
One more look at that last pitch from Tazawa to Ian Kinsler, a fastball right down the middle of the plate. And straightaway center field, just going with location. See Tazawa hoping that ball was not deep enough, but certainly was to get up off that wall.
Good insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
Almost looked like Betts thought he had a chance at that when it left on contact, but quickly found itself off the wall, and Mookie got trapped in very close to that center field wall.
So here we go with Kinsler at third, 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. And Cespedes trying to break the tie right now. An 0 for 3 night, but of course all of that was against Rick Porcello. Strike 1. Outside, a ball and a strike.
Back-to-back fastballs by Tazawa. One inside, one away, way away. And no swing by Cespedes.
Pitch up grabs the attention of Cespedes, ducking back out of the way. Albuquerque joined by Blaine Hardy again. This combination had been up earlier, back up again, and Albuquerque's been up all along. Two-one to Cespedes. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Good fastball away.
And well off the outside part of the plate. Cespedes chasing a bad pitch on the 2-1 count.
Two for four in his career against Tazawa. Both have been singles. And for Cespedes, a single would do right here. Tazawa has other ideas. Fouled off, still 2-2.
They have really stayed with the fastball too against Cespedes. Every pitch from Tazawa in this at bat has been a fastball.
Sticking with it again. 2-2 pitch. Elevates the fastball, and Cespedes not chasing. And Kinsler 90 feet away with 2 outs here in the Tigers' 8th inning. Stays alive. They go back up again. 95 on the fastball.
It was pretty clear what the message was from Willis, how they're going to work Cespedes. I mean, it's been all fastballs.
Kinsler at third, 2 down here in the 8th.
Staying with the fastball.
Cespedes fouls it off again. He's got to be wondering at some point, when are they going to mix this up?
I know that's what you start thinking as a hitter. It's been fastball after fastball after fastball, elevating it, going outside with it. Cespedes knows the pitches Tazawa has. He's seen him pitch. He knows he's got that splitter. It's got to be in the back of your mind somewhere. But that's a pitch you got to adjust to. You got to look fastball. On the fastball inside.
And they get him. On the 9th pitch, all fastballs, 94 miles an hour. Cespedes strikes out, 1-1 game.
I mean, he just stayed fastball after fastball after fastball to Cespedes. He elevates and no contact by Cespedes. Gets the big strikeout with the man at third base.
Now Verlander back on the mound here for the Tigers. 99 pitches deep into his outing and back out there for the bottom of the eighth. At least to start it. Ryan Hannigan leads it off. Hannigan 1 for 2. Single to left in the third. Flied out to center in the fifth. Two and 0. Same combination still up in the pen for the Tigers. Hardy and Albuquerque both ready. Three and 0. Meanwhile, the Red Sox closer Uehara up in the pen. After Tazawa works the eighth inning and gets out of a 2-out runner at third situation, getting Cespedes to strike out. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Hannigan on the ground to short. Iglesias for the first out of the bottom of the eighth inning. I want to remind you to stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live. A Red Sox final presented by Udo's. TC and Steve Lyons will wrap up all of tonight's action from around the majors. One out in the eighth, and Mookie Betts coming up. That's 0 for 3. He's lined out to right, struck out swinging, lined out to right again. Popped up first base way. Mark Krause straddling the line, now into foul ground, 2 down. Well, your next fill-up could be free with Gulf Oil's new rewards program, PowerPoints. Visit GulfPowerPoints.com to sign up and to start earning free gas. It's that easy. Two down in the eighth, and it brings up Brock Holt. Well, 1 for 3 tonight. An RBI single back in the third inning. The Sox have gathered 7 hits against Verlander. Xander Bogaerts on deck. Holt quickly down 0-2.
Well, Verlander bouncing back after a very poor outing last time out, and doing a very solid job in this game tonight. We haven't seen any 97, 98s with his fastball. It's been down in the low 90s, mixing in a lot of breaking pitches. That time a changeup looks like down and away.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Not been a big strikeout night for Verlander. He's not had one since the third inning, and he's had only 3 in this game. Two pitch. Verlander wanted it, but it's a ball, full count.
Trying to go back door with that slider and just missed the outside part of the plate. The catcher Avila setting up outside. He hits the target, but it's just down and away.
Fourth full count of the night for Verlander. Holt will pop it up third base way. Castellanos into foul ground to end the 8th inning. We head for the 9th in a 1-1 game. Your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Fenway Park, where the game is tied 1-1. And the Red Sox closer into the game, Koji Uehara. His 38th appearance, 2-4 with a 2.67 earned run average. Unsafe situation coming in here at home in a tie game, but in save opportunities, 22 at 24, 38 Ks to 6 walks. Opponents hitting at 192 against Uehara. Took the loss in Los Angeles. Walk-off home run to Trout in his only appearance of the 7-game road trip.
Now that pitch to Trout was a low fastball at about 88 miles an hour.
So he's not pitched in the last 7 days. Victor Martinez leading it off. And a swing and a miss for strike one. 0 for 3 tonight. Victor struck out swinging in the first inning. Flied out to right, flied out to left. J.D. Martinez and Nick Castellanos expected here in the 9th inning. Martinez drives it towards left center field. On the move is De Aza for out number 1 of the top of the 9th. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out in the 9th.
I'm speechless after that.
I don't know what that was. I really.
It's a baseball head going.
Yeah, it is a guy on a baseball head. The 0-1. High fly ball to left field. De Aza back onto the track at the wall to make the catch. Didn't have enough to get up on that wall, and J.D. Martinez is out number 2.
Well, Martinez making a bid, but falling short of that left field wall. De Aza going right back to the wall and knows exactly where it is, and right down into the glove for the second out of the inning.
So 2 down here in the 9th, and Nick Castellanos 0 for 3 in the game. Slide out to center, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play, and lined out to right as he takes strike 1, an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Gary Streisky with you from Fenway Park. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Red Sox and Tigers tied 1-1. And a strike picks up the outside corner. 0-2 to Castellanos. Bogarts, Sandoval, Ramirez. 3, 4, and 5 expected the bottom of the 9th. Remember, you got Ortiz and Pedroia on the bench. Now Albuquerque, along with Soria up in the pen. Joakim Soria, the former Royal, outside, and it is 2-2. Soria with 22 saves on the year. Bouncing in, full count. Alex Avila on deck. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. A 1-2-3 9th inning for Uehara. On to the bottom of the 9th, tied 1-1. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now on southwest.com. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by your local Subaru dealers. Bottom of the 9th inning, game tied 1-1. Xander Bogaerts to lead it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bogaerts tonight 1 for 3. Single to left in the 6th inning. And pitcher Albuquerque, who's been up for the better part of 3 innings into this game, into his 43rd game of the year, 1-0, 3.27 earned run average, 42 strikeouts, but 22 walks, and opponents hitting at 245 against Albuquerque. Ball and a strike now to Xander Bogaerts. Sandoval, then Ramirez, anticipated here in the bottom of the 9th. On the ground into left field, a base hit for Bogaerts to get this bottom of the 9th inning started.
Well, almost a one-handed swing there by Xander Bogaerts. Finds that hole between third and short. Leadoff man on for the Red Sox. Out on his front foot on that pitch. That might have been an off-speed pitch right there from Albuquerque. A little bit of an off-balance swing, but good results for Bogaerts.
A 2-hit night for Xander. Pablo Sandoval looking for his first hit of tonight. He is 0 for 3. Striking out, popping out. Last time up, grounding into the 6-4-3 double play. There goes Bogaerts, and a foul ball by Sandoval.
That's Sandoval trying to play a little hit and run with Sandoval, a guy that can make contact on almost any kind of pitch. And they had that shortstop covering. Looks like Sandoval was heading in that direction, but fouls it off.
Foul back, and it's 0-2. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th. Lead runner has reached in. Xander Bogaerts at first base. Ortiz on the bench tonight, available, as is Dustin Pedroia. Sandoval hits a fly ball to center field. Cespedes calling and catching out number 1 of the 9th. Now, for every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. 1 out, 1 on, and Hanley Ramirez coming up. And a single off Verlander back in the 4th inning. A 1-for-3 night. Throw to first, and Bogaerts back to the bag. Another throw over, and Bogaerts back again.
Bogaerts going on that first pitch when Sandoval was the play. Gets him a little attention here from Albuquerque.
Xander Bogaerts with a single to begin the inning at first base after Sandoval flied out to left, 1 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike.
Good slider there by Albuquerque on the 1-0 pitch. Hanley Ramirez looking fastball in that situation, did not get it, and no contact on the breaking ball.
Runner goes, grounded back to the mound. Albuquerque will flip to first, but into scoring position goes Bogaerts with now 2 down.
There's the jump at first base, and that's going to eliminate any play at second base. So the Red Sox could get the potential winning run in scoring position on the ground ball back to the mound.
Chance here for Mike Napoli to be the hero. Tonight 1 for 3, singling to left in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Albuquerque going right to the breaking ball on the first pitch. Away from Napoli.
Alejandro De Aza waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the 9th.
Tries it again. That time Napoli stays off the breaking ball.
Back to Albuquerque, who makes the catch on the liner, and Napoli robbed. That looked like it was ticketed to center field. We head for bonus baseball, tied 1-1. All season long, Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Well, game tied 1-1 as we head into the 10th inning back at Fenway Park. More Koji Uehara. We had to throw 11 pitches in a 1-2-3 9th inning, so back out there to begin the 10th.
Well, you mentioned, Don, the light workload on the road trip for Uehara, so getting a second inning here.
Avila goes around, according to Todd Tichenor, the third base umpire. Alex Avila leading it off. Mark Krause, then Jose Iglesias.
Mike Napoli making a bid last inning, the line drive, but right back into the glove of Albuquerque. The ball gets by Albuquerque. You had Kinsler right there, though. I'm not sure this ball would have made it up the middle anyway.
Off balance cut there for Avila. Avila followed by Krause, who waits on deck here for the Tigers. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Avila to begin the 10th inning. Second strikeout for Uehara.
A steady diet of split-fingered fastballs to Avila from Uehara. There's a good example of the split, the grip right there, and bouncing. Hannigan able to make the play and apply the tag.
So one down for Mark Krause. This is the first time this year that Uehara has pitched beyond an inning. Rondon and Soria warming in the pen. Red Sox will have De Aza, Victorino, Hannigan scheduled for the bottom of the 10th. There's Jose Iglesias waiting on deck for the Tigers. A 1-1 to Krause. And a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Another good splitter there by Koji. Keeping it down out of the strike zone. Some of these pitches never really start in the strike zone. They start below the knees and finish around the ankles.
Fouled off to the left. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mark Krause. Saw Porcello for 7 innings in tonight's game, giving up 1 run. Tazawa worked the 8th. Gave up a hit but no runs. Uehara now on for his 2nd inning of relief. Bouncing in, full count now. Uehara, who has not issued a walk in 18 straight games, has a full count here. And a one-hopper into the glove of Holt from short right. His throw in time to get Krause 2 down in the 10th inning.
Well, take a look. We'll go back to the 3rd inning. Only 1 run for each side. Ian Kinsler picking up a base hit to drive in a run. That was in the top of the 3rd inning. In the bottom of the 3rd, Brock Holt with the base hit to drive in a run. His 23rd RBI of the season. And that's all the scoring on the night here from Fenway. It's been all pitching tonight.
2 down here in the 10th, and it brings up Jose Iglesias. 1 for 3 in the game. He doubled off Porcello back in the 3rd inning. Scored the only Tigers run of the night. On deck, Anthony goes. "25 pitches now for Uehara since coming into this game, going an inning and 2/3, and nobody warming up behind him right now." Iglesias with a good hack there to fastball, 2-2.
So when Koji elevates that fastball after all those split-fingered fastballs, I mean, it looks harder than 87 miles an hour. Back to the splitter.
Job by Iglesias to get a bat on that. Fouls it off, still 2-2. Outside, full count. Iglesias to right field, but right at Victorino. And Shan will put it away. Uehara retires all 6 that he faces. De Aza will lead it off in the bottom of the 10th. They're able to get a triple off the center field fence. That was off Shinichi Tozawa and set up a situation in the 8th inning. The Tigers could take the lead with 2 down, but then Tozawa comes back and is able to strike out Yoenis Cespedes. All fastballs in that sequence, and the high fastball gets him. It is our Toyota play of the game. Keeps it tied up, and here we go into the bottom of the 10th inning in a 1-1 ball game. Al Albuquerque worked the 9th inning. Bruce Rondon in here to work the 10th, his 14th appearance, 1-0 with an 8.10 earned run average. 14 strikeouts, 4 walks, and opponents hitting at .341 against Rondon. That's a bicep tendonitis earlier this year that sidelined him for most of June. Alejandro De Aza leading it off here in the bottom of the 10th inning. I'm guessing that David Ortiz is unavailable tonight.
It would seem that way, and both he and Dustin Pedroia, as you mentioned, on the bench, but we know Pedroia is dealing with that hamstring issue. Isn't that first fastball at 99?
Yeah, he's got that kind of gas.
And drops the slider at 86.
A 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Another slider that time at 88. So we've seen a fastball and 2 sliders so far from Rondon.
Shane Victorino waiting on deck. Ryan Hannigan scheduled to bat after him. Broken bat, foul ball just outside of third.
This bat just shatters on this fastball, sinking fastball that hits right at the top of the bat. And that's a little ugly right there. 99 with a sink on it.
And he baffles De Aza, strikes him out. 1 down here in the 10th inning.
Back to the slider. 3 sliders in that at bat to De Aza, and he puts him away with the breaking ball. I mean, you got to be fooled by that. I mean, the guy that throws 99 and with a heavy sink and then drops the breaking ball on you.
One down here in the 10th inning for Shane Victorino. 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the 3rd. Since then, he has flied out, popped out. On the ground, softly towards 3rd, Castellanos. Throws out Victorino, 2 down. Well, Sunday, NESN presents Peerless Pedro from noon to 7:30. NESN will air Pedro's top NESN games, featuring only the half innings that he pitched. Tune in Sunday from noon to 7:30, leading up to the Sox nationally televised game against the Tigers at 8 p.m. Still some wood on the field after that bat shattering for De Aza. 2 outs here in the 10th for Ryan Hannigan. Fouled off to the right, out of play. And again with a single back in the 3rd inning. Since then, it's fly to center, grounded out to short.
Protecting the lines at both first base and third base. They're trying to prevent that double by Hannigan of the Tigers.
Fastball at 100 by him. A hundo.
You figure if he's got 99, he can reach 100, and he certainly did that time.
Struck him out on the breaking ball that ends the 10th. To the 11th we go, tied 1-1. Brought to you by Jack Link's. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. 1-1 the score as we head to the 11th inning. Red Sox moving on to their fourth pitcher of the game after 2 innings by Koji Uehara. Justin Masterson into the game, his 13th appearance of the year. 3-2, 5.98 earned run average, 38 strikeouts, 21 walks, and opponents hitting at .291 against Masterson. He worked in Tuesday night's game at Houston. Hit the first batter he faced with 1 on and 1 out in the 5th inning. Allowed 2 runs to score that inning. 1 inherited runner charged to Brian Johnson in that outing. Also through the 6th inning, gave up a 2-run home run to Chris Carter. So an inning and 2/3 in that outing. 4 hits and 3 runs. Anthony Gose, the number 9 man in the Tigers order, lead it off here in the top of the 11th inning. Gose in this game 0 for 3. A ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. There is strike 1.
Sandoval in tight at third base, as you can see there, respecting the bunting ability of Gose.
This works out to be the 69th appearance out of the pen for Masterson in his major league career. 4-4 with a 3.11 earned run average. In the season, of course, in the Red Sox rotation, made 9 starts, where he went 3-2 with a high earned run average of 6.14. His 4th appearance as a reliever this year. And a foul off to the left out of play. Ian Kinsler, then Yoenis Cespedes, scheduled here for the 11th. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. Gose strikes out, 1 down here in the 11th.
First slider that he threw him inside. The other 2 are outside. This time he really brings it across the plate, down and in, and Gose cannot stay off it. Pitch not a strike, but a swing and miss.
Yesterday, the Tigers, wrapping up their homestand at Comerica Park, lost 3-2 in 12 innings. And that was against the Seattle Mariners. Now here they are in another extra inning game the very next night here at Fenway Park. 1-1 game into the 11th inning. Here's Ian Kinsler with 1 out. Kinsler's had a 2-hit night and a single in the 3rd to drive in the only Tigers run, and then he tripled in the 8th inning as he takes strike 1. Two for 13 in his career against Masterson. And a liner that is going to get into left field for a base hit. Ian Kinsler with a 1-out single. 3rd hit of the night for the Tigers' second baseman.
Yeah, he drove in the only run for the Tigers back in the 3rd, then the triple in the 8th. Was standing at third base, then a strikeout to Cespedes. And now with 1 out, the line drive base hit just out of the reach of Bogaerts. See if Kinsler tries to steal second base and get in scoring position here with 1 out.
You're headed into the teeth of the Tigers order coming up here. With Cespedes, Martinez, and Martinez back to back. And a pitch in there for a strike. Low for ball 1, 1-1. 6 for 20, 300 against Masterson. That includes a home run for Cespedes. Kinsler has not tried to steal yet. Pitch outside. We'll see if he does here in a 2-1 count. That'll get away, and Kinsler, who is not running, now takes second base. So he was not trying to steal there. This one gets away and now into scoring position with 1 out.
That wild pitch that time gets Kinsler into scoring position. The fastball that was supposed to be inside. You can see Hannigan having to go all the way across his body to try to knock that down. Could not do it. And Kinsler in scoring position at second base.
Now 3-1 to Cespedes, and he will take ball 4, and down to first base he goes with 1 out here in the inning. So you got Victor Martinez coming up with runners at first and second and 1 out here in the 11th. Nine for 21 at .429 in his career against Masterson. Victor Martinez traded at one time for Justin Masterson, coming to the Red Sox with Masterson going to the Indians. Picks up the strike zone, evens the count at 1-1. Action again in the Boston pen. Robbie Ross and Noe Ramirez. This combination was up earlier in the game. Now up here in the 11th inning. Masterson working right now. The 1-1 pitch to Victor Martinez. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
They challenged Martinez that time with the fastball downstairs, down and in.
Hannigan able to block that. 2-2. No advance for the base runners.
A nice play there by Hannigan behind the plate, backhanding that ball and keeping the runners where they are, second and first.
Surrounded the plate and misses outside. Full count.
Trying the backdoor breaking ball again, and that time missing outside. Trying to get Victor Martinez to quit on the pitch, but couldn't pick up the corner with it.
J.D. Martinez waiting on deck. It's already been a 2-hit night for the Tigers right fielder as he waits on deck. Kinsler at second, Cespedes at first, 1 out. And a payoff pitch to Victor Martinez. And Martinez slaps it foul off to the left.
The runners were going to it, first and second.
This game remains tied. Looks like Blaine Hardy may be coming in. The Tigers can get a lead. Their closer Soria up, as he has been already a couple times tonight. Martinez strikes out. They're going again and out at third base. Is Ian Kinsler. Strike him out, throw him out, double play that ends the top of the 11th, tied at 1.
First of all, the strikeout to Victor Martinez on a breaking ball right down the middle. And then Hannigan really had a lot of time because you see the jump at second base. And Pablo Sandoval just waiting for Ian Kinsler. They're banking on contact in that situation. Didn't get any. And a double play to end the inning.
So now we're into the ball game in relief. Left-hander had been warming in the pen. Blaine Hardy into his 44th game of the year. 3-1 with a 2.42 earned run average. 36 strikeouts, 14 walks, and opponents hitting at 220 against Hardy. Takes over for Bruce Rondon, and it's the top of the Red Sox order, Mookie Betts, who takes strike one. That's tonight, hitless, 0 for 4 in the game. Brock Holt, and then Xander Bogaerts. Expected trio here in the 11th inning. There's strike 2.
Started him with a changeup and goes back to the fastball. First 2 pitches from Blaine Hardy.
Curveball that is fouled off down by the shoe tops there for Mookie Betts.
Well, he's already seen all 3 of his pitches: his changeup, his fastball, and his curveball.
Verlander started this game, went 8 innings, giving up 1 run. Since then, Albuquerque an inning shutout pitching. Same for Bruce Rondon, who struck out 2. Now Blaine Hardy into the game for the bottom of the 11th inning. High for ball 2. High for ball 3. Same spot, full count. That's trying to get on here to set the table here in the bottom of the 11th. And he fouls it off. Betts takes ball 4, a little bit low. Lead runner on for the Red Sox in the 11th. Close pitch.
Yeah, very close. And Mookie was convinced that was ball 4 as he was heading down to first base. Now we'll see if they bunt with Brock Holt at the plate, lefty against lefty. I think the catcher dropping that ball also helped get that ball 4 call. Very close pitch.
Lead runner on for the Red Sox here. First time since the 9th inning. Brock Holt tonight 1 for 4 with an RBI single, scoring the Red Sox only run. And at third, Castellanos. First a check at first base. And back to the bag is Betts. Diving back is Betts at first.
Little different move that time. Stepped off the rubber and then the throw to first base.
Holt is squaring and he gets a bunt down. Hardy looked at second, out goes to first for the out. Sacrifice is complete as Betts in a scoring position with 1 out in the 11th inning.
Now well done there by Brock Holt. Get the ball down on the ground, and that time no chance at all for Hardy to make a play at second base. The speed of Mookie Betts certainly helps in that situation because that ball was back toward the pitcher. Gave him something to think about, but not with Betts' speed.
Now Xander Bogaerts, who's had a 2-hit night, singling to left on 2 occasions. Pick up play at second and almost hit the runner. Kinsler had to reach back to make the grab.
Well, Anthony goes in center field very shallow, isn't he?
Yep.
And shallow in right field is J.D. Martinez.
Down and in. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. Bogaerts thought about it. Did he go? Yes, he did. Mike Everett said he offered.
Bites on the changeup this time. Ooh, very close.
Outside, ball 2.
That was actually a strike, but the way that the catcher had to go across to catch it gave it the impression the ball was not a strike.
I didn't even think it was close, and it was.
See the catcher setting up inside Avila, and then he's going to reach across, and that ball really had a lot of the corner.
2-1 the count. Swing and a miss there, and it's now 2-2.
Hardy likes his changeup.
Well, it had Bogaerts off balance, no doubt.
Changeup again right here with the off balance swing.
Bogarts lines it into center field for a base hit. Betts being waved around. The throw from center is going to be not in time. Red Sox win and walk off with it at Fenway. Xander Bogaerts on his third hit of the night wins it for Boston. Third walk-off of the year for the Red Sox. Second time it's been Xander Bogaerts to get it done. Second day in a row the Tigers have lost in extra innings.
Looks like the Tigers may be looking at this to see if they're going to challenge it. The play at home plate. And I believe they are.
Wouldn't this be something?
Oh, my goodness.
We'll get another look at the play of the plate.
Take another look at it. Here comes Mookie Betts. I think he's in there.
Yep. Another lose if you're the Tigers, really, to check it out. I think he's in there, though. Home-plate umpire Tim Timmons there as Xander looks on to find out his fate.
Wouldn't this be weird if it went the other way?
Oh, my. Tigers starting to walk off the field even before the call's been made. They've looked at it a bunch on the center field scoreboard. Umpires are not so sure. This is not as quick as you might think it might be based on the replays we've seen. I think he touches the corner of the plate right there, and the tag comes much later.
Yeah, he's got it with his foot, and he's got it with his knee, it looks like.
Question is, what is taking so long? Well, the Red Sox have enjoyed a celebration that may not be. We'll see.
This would be very strange.
Xander's going to have to get his jersey back on again if that's the case, and has been ripped off.
The grounds crew's ready to take the field.
Yep.
The Red Sox are ready to leave. The Tigers are ready to stay. The fans are leaving, and we're waiting.
Even the Tigers are kind of ready to leave. Most of them are off the field now.
Well,
there's like three guys.
Yeah, they watched
around.
it on the scoreboard, and they kind of figured, he's safe. I think he's safe. This is taking a long time, though.
Is it possible he could be looking at something else? Did he touch third of the way by? I mean, is there anything else that could be under consideration here?
I can only think it's the play at the plate.
All right. What do we got? He's safe. And the Red Sox win. So as you were, everybody.
Well, I'll tell you, wins don't come easy nowadays.
That snaps an 8-game losing streak for the Red Sox. Let's send it down to the striker.
Oh, no.
Xander, so you guys have waited since July 11th to get that win, so I guess a couple minutes isn't going to hurt right there. Pretty fitting, though. 2 walk-off losses when you guys were on the road, so a walk-off win for yourself to get things started.
I mean, this is a great way to start a homestand. We played a great game, both offensively and defensively, and we gave the fans something to see.
You're getting pretty good at this walk-off thing. I think it's 3 walk-offs since the start of the season, 2 for yourself, 1 for Mookie Betts. Walk-off or not, just to get a win. 8-game losing streak, the longest of the season. Now you guys are back in the win column.
Yeah, that was the most important thing. We know we had a tough road trip, but to start the homestand with a 1-0 win, definitely that'll work.
Rick was able to keep you guys in it, of course, against his former team. You got to feel good about him. His last 7 starts without a win. Here you go.
Yeah, really good a start by him against his former team, so probably more amped up and stuff like that, but he definitely threw a great game.
And what about for yourself and you guys? You guys started the day in Houston. You flew back to Boston this morning, went straight to the park from Logan. It's going to feel pretty good to sleep in your own bed tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know we had a tough road trip, as I said again, and then long flights and early mornings and stuff like that. But to start off the homestand like this is really good.
And how about the fans that stay in the extra innings to watch the walk-off? Give it up for the fans. Xander, congrats on the win. All right.
All right, thanks very much, Gary. Congratulations to Xander Bogaerts. We send it to Tom Caron. TC?